Hey, it's great to be with you again today. Have you ever felt like an outcast? Like you didn't belong? Like you were in a party or something and you looked around and you're like, "Man, I'm just I'm not fitting in here." Or on a team or on a committee or in a church, right? Sometimes we look around and we're like, "Man, I just don't fit in here. This is no good." And it's bad when it happens in a church, right? Because we're supposed to accept people and bring them in and love them into the kingdom. And sometimes there's that person or people who, well, they don't exactly fit the mold that we want them to fit in. They're not doing and saying what we think they should do and say. And so we kind of, we tolerate them. And if they come, they come. And if they don't, no big deal. They're kind of on the outskirts. They're kind of icky, actually. And Jesus ran into that a lot, but he did something different. He's walking through the streets of Jericho one day, and he's got the disciples, and there's a ton of people following him. As a matter of fact, people are lining the streets just so they can see him, right? So they can see him walk by. And as he's going down the road, there's this guy. His name is Zacchaeus, and he's kind of shorter than everybody else, and he's having trouble getting a glimpse of Jesus. He's pushing his way through. And here's the other thing about Zacchaeus. He was a tax collector, and the Jews hated the tax collectors because they worked for the Romans and they were lining their own pockets with the money of the Jewish people. They would overtax them and then put all the extra money in their own accounts. So these guys are viewed as working for the enemy. They're traitors to their own people. Zacchaeus is short and he can't see, and people are not letting him through. As a matter of fact, they may have give him a little elbow right in the ear hole, right? Send him on his way. And so Zacchaeus decides he's going to see Jesus, and he climbs a tree, and he looks down. And as Jesus walks by him, Jesus looks up, and he's like, "Hey, Zacchaeus, come out of that tree. As a matter of fact, I'm coming over to your house for lunch today." Right? And Zacchaeus is like, "Wah!" Right? He jumps out of the tree, gets down, and he runs to the house, and Jesus goes with him. And Zacchaeus has got all of his friends, and some of them are tax collectors, and some of them are probably people of ill repute. And Jesus is hanging out with him. Him and the disciples are in there eating dinner and lunch with him, right? And some of the religious elite walk by, and they're like, "What is Jesus doing?" And they get with the disciples and they're, "Hey, doesn't he know that these guys are sinners? What is he doing, even associating with these people?" And Jesus looks at him and he's like, "Hey, man, Zacchaeus is my man." And Zacchaeus says, "Listen, Jesus, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I've done. I'm going to pay back everybody what I owe them. As a matter of fact, if I've cheated somebody out of their money, I will repay them 4 times what I cheated them out of." And Jesus looks at the people and he says, "Today salvation has come to this house." Zacchaeus is a son of Abraham. He believes in the one true God, and he has been saved because of this. And the people are stunned because Zacchaeus is an outcast. He doesn't belong. He shouldn't be here. And Jesus, well, he just loves them into the kingdom. May God continue to pour out his grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen. Amen.